Good afternoon, my name is Mark Hall, the National Product Manager for Corsair Solutions. Today I want to talk to you a bit about the Visionary Solutions products, but more importantly, basically an easy way to control them. So there's a product called VLite, which allows you to manage devices in a simple and easy way. So if you're setting the one up on your network, this actually runs on Java and it can be run from pretty much any device, Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, etc. Now, so it's used to discover, update, reset and route endpoints. It includes auto discovery of the units. It can do firmware updates. You can factory default the unit, and you can also use the drag and drop encode to decode and see that live. And I'm actually going to show you how that actually works today. So if we go across to the Visionary Solutions website, we can go down and we can see the 5 series here. So let's go into a 5 series module here, and you'll see down the bottom there's a on the tabs there's a download area. So if I click on the download, we can go down the bottom and we can actually download the software and the release notes on the unit. So let's download that and I'll give you a quick run through of how this works. Now, I've actually prepared that earlier and I've downloaded a copy of the VLite. So I'll open that up here and it opens up. I've got this on my local desktop and we have a PDF of an overview guide, and we also have the VLite software. Now, to run this, I can simply click on the VLite and it will open up a basically, if you've got Java installed, it will open up a packet AV server. Now the way this works is so. We start it up and we have a network that our Visionary Solutions products are on. Mine, in my case, is a 10.1 network. So I'll select 10.1.1.1 is my network port of the computer that I'm recording this on that is attached to the Visionary Solutions products. So if I click onto that, it will now give me, please note, to connect to this application from other computers, you'll need to browse to this specific address, which is 10.1.1.1 port 8080. Now this can be changed. So the way this works is as such, very easy. I'll copy that. I'm going to add a browser tab up here and I will just simply plug that IP address in the top. I will hit enter and it comes up with a VLite login. So I'll input the parameters, log on and the username, which is admin, and we will click log on. Now what this is going to do, you'll see it's actually discovering units at the moment. It's going through and it's discovering all the units that are currently on my network. So you'll see down the bottom here, you will see I have there's an MV5E, so there's an encoder, there's a decoder, that's actually from the multi-viewer. We've got an E5100 encoder, a Duet E5 encoder, and a Duet D5 encoder. So this is showing me all the units. I've got a total of 3 encoders and I've got 5 decoders on my network at the moment. We can, from this page, we can easily click on this and I can update all of these to the current firmware that this VLite basically I suppose version allows. So this actually is version 3.18.12 and I'm actually running a higher firmware. So if this was 3.18.12 was higher, I can go through and I can actually update all these units from this device. We can also click on any of the IPs that are associated, so with the IP addresses that are here. So I might go to this encoder, I might click on that, and that will specifically go through. A second, there we are, popped up, and that will actually bring up the basically the web GUI of that unit. So I'll click on the monitor and I can see what's running on there. If I go back to my login page, I've also see up the top here, this is on the VLite, that I can go up to the routing, which is up the top here. Click on the routing and you'll see I've got a number of basically encoders and decoders on there. So I'm here, I've got my Muggly Mug speaking at the moment. I've got two encoders with a variety of inputs running on there. I've also got a, you can see that's basically, there's my head, there's my web GUI, and I've actually got a camera, which is, you'll see here, and this camera is actually going to a screen that's over there. And what I've got, if you look at my main GUI page, you'll see I've got my encoder, it'll be a bit hard to see there. That's an encoder there from the MV5. So that's actually the multi-view output. So that's actually what's coming through onto this down here, a bit hard to see. Multi-view encoder is what's going out. That's actually what I've got going onto the decoder. So, which is down here, down the bottom, below the filter displays, below my mouse, is what's actually going to that screen. You also see I've got an E5100 there, and I've got a Duet, another encoder there with another camera going to it. So let's flick back to that multi-view display that I've got here, and we have the output. Hopefully I can show this as easy as possible. You see I've got my three encoders up there and my decoder down the bottom. If I was to drag this one here with the camera that's pointing at me onto the full screen here of that decoder, it will actually switch through. So give it a second just to go through. It pops up, and that's actually showing you me switching from an encoder to, or any of the encoders to any of the decoders. So I can simply go there and do that again by drag and dropping, and this will change. One of the great things about this is you can name these and set these up as unit. And let's say you're doing a really simple install for a pub or a club or something. You could have this server running, and you have all your little your encoders and your decoders that you'll see down here, but you could make it, say, you know, these are your decoders. That could be screen 1, screen 2, screen 4, screen 5, etc. And all if you want to make it easy for the client, you could even do it as simple as an iPad. They could go onto this IP address that we've got up the top and literally go onto here and drag and drop and say, oh, I want this to go here, I want this to go here, etc., etc. So they just literally go through and they can drag and change any inputs to any outputs as they want, as they need. I'm trying to explain this as simply as possible, but that's just showing you just how easily you can use the software to actually control and drag and drop from the encoders to the decoders, a nice easy way. Okay, so I hope that was just a nice, quick, clean run through, just to give you a little, I suppose, snippet of what you can do and how easily you can actually, you know, drag and drop and control a visionary encoder decoder without a control system. Thank you for your time once again. My name is Mark Hall from Corsair Solutions. Please get in touch with us at www.corsair.solutions or corsairsolutions.com.au, and see you all at Integrate. Thank you. Bye.